Welcome to Galactic Explorers. We are your intuitive channelers, Daniella and Dallas. Hi.
Hey guys.
Your alternative thought fix with a joyride through earthly, spiritual, metaphysical, scientific, and everyday topics explored with a galactic perspective. Yeah. Today is going to be fun. We're pulling some cards. To get the rest of the year, to find out that vibe of how we want to direct ourselves, kind of keep in the back of your head and going, oh, yeah, okay, that's about right. Redirects. You know, it's all about redirection. So we're going to help you out. Welcome to Galactic Explorers. We've already pulled a couple cards, and we're going to pull some more. And let's
Away
get
we
started.
go.
Yeah, let's do this. The universe got.
Beautiful lead in, and away we go.
Daniela, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? What do you want to
Well,
do? It feels good.
let's go ahead and pull that third card.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll see. How about that?
Okay, I like that.
Okay, well, there's mine.
I love it. Love it. Oh, there's mine.
Would you fucking know it? It's literally the same color scheme again.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Oh. It's doing things with my charger cord. It's very sensitive. Have you turned yours over? I turned mine over.
She turned hers over. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see mine because yours.
Mine flipped. All of them flipped over. That's
Right.
how they
They
showed
just
themselves.
came to you. And they
All of them flipped. Because when I was shuffling, they were like, bah! And they flipped over and made it so I couldn't.
Yeah.
They were flipped over. So I'm like, okay.
Mine just stick out sometimes. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, mine will kick out
fall
too.
out or whatever.
Yeah, they fall.
So,
Yeah, but this time, every single one of these,
yeah,
flipped over and stopped the deck. It was like, okay. Because usually, yeah, it's a variety. Like one will fall out, one will flip, one, like, but it'll make itself known in one of a number of ways.
Yeah.
Not the same way every time. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So.
What's your card?
Mm-hmm. So I am working with the Starman Tarot.
Ooh, I like it.
I don't know if we've done this one before.
I don't think
together.
so.
Ooh, lost it. There we go. That's about as far as I can go.
I like
This
it.
is actually done by the artists that worked with David Bowie to help him create Starman.
Ooh.
And this was done pre and post humorously. It always seems so weird to say post humorous because it's like you think humorous like ha 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 ha, but it like literally means after their death. I always thought that was like the weirdest term. It's like this album was created posthumously. It's like post after they were funny. Like,
Right.
it's like nope, post after they're dead. Oh, okay, fuck. That is not what that sounds like. But it was created. Sorry, tangent. That's what it's created after. So the imagery is really beautiful and very much informed by that set of like mythology and imagery that created that character. So it's really interesting. So we have for our viewing pleasure and understanding today the Eight of Wands, which is beautiful.
Yeah, that's a pretty card.
So what we've got here is a orb type situation with a landscape. We've got a few cut down trees here at the bottom. I'm almost like I expect to feel like a Michael Jackson Earth song sort of vibe going on down here. Right? There's a like a pyramid, hanging out, flying up here. There's the 8 wands all suspended in the air here, but they're almost looking like they're acting like rockets because there's flames and stuff shooting out of the bottom of them, but also the top, so it's almost like a lead light in a way. It's very interesting. We've got the Ace of Swords, which also more orb imagery. We've got sacred geometry here in the middle, fire and flames up here at the top, more sacred geometry and flower of life here, and of course our sword, which at the moment, it's like the handle is very nice looking, but the sword itself is very like rusted bronze. It's like it's an old ass sword. So the sword's not new looking, but everything else is clean and new, as opposed to these wands right here, which these look brand new in state. Like,
Right.
even though they're carved wooden scrolling designs, it looks new, as opposed to this actually has patina almost, in a sense, of the texture to it. And last but most certainly not least, this gentleman right here is the Hierophant. Hierophant, I don't know, there's a million ways to pronounce that. It is actually what looks like a lion type creature, a lion type dude with the mane, beard,
Yep.
lion face, sitting on his throne. We've got a lot more sacred geometry in the flower of life ball up here at the top, some stars. We've got some gorgeous like glass ceiling mosaic stuff up here. Very interesting symbology through all of these, and it's very interesting to note, which we noticed with the first two, and it did pan out with the last one, that all of these cards are in the same color scheme, which matches subsequently the background.
Right. That you made before pulling that
Which
out.
I chose, yeah, before pulling the cards.
Right. I love it.
I'm just going to let that settle in for you for a second. And they all came out in the same manner.
Right.
They all kicked out the same way. Okay. So while I look into and interpret some of these and how they might work together, let's have you share what you pulled and describe it for everybody, so like everybody listening on the podcast can kind of get some imagery there for themselves, and then we'll share the reading.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
Take it away, Dallas.
I got 2 card decks. I hope.
Oh, you did. Ooh.
There you go. I hate how Rainbow Warrior.
Yes.
This is my favorite deck, and I use this all the time in so many things. I love it. And then my Elemental Spirits Oracle.
Oh yeah, I love that one. That one's so pretty.
This one is just so mystical and whimsical, and it's
So
just
pretty.
there's some depth to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't pulled any of my cards yet.
Yep, you haven't seen yours because yours didn't flip out that way.
This one is my first one.
Ooh, like that color scheme. Look at that.
Right? Which is kind of funny. It kind of matches yours, right? Okay, come on.
There you go.
So we got kind of orange and green and yellow and reds.
Yeah.
And they're kind of
arrow.
So yeah, it's like an arrow going through. And then it's like up here, there's like more arrows going the opposite direction. Sorry. And it almost looks kind of like, what do I want to say? Leafy in the top. And then you have almost like a diamond, like green, and then the core of it's like that yellow, orange, it goes through. There's that card.
Nice.
No, the second one, we have the salamander. So it's a
snap.
red.
More red.
Salamander.
Oh my god, he's so cute though.
Bright, fiery red. You got some little orange tints in there too. Yellows, light yellows, kind of a fiery background that he's wandering on, whimsically through. And then this one came upside down. So this is the honeybee. That one bright yellow.
Oh my god.
Orange. Right? And then we have like, The spiral that's going through.
Mm-hmm.
The wings are yellowy, whitish. So
Yeah.
those
Oh
are
my
the
god. Look at the
honeycomb.
same colors. That's crazy.
All the same colors. So that is totally bizarre. Totally all matching. 2 decks. Yeah. So, what is the energy forecast, Daniela, that we should put ourselves in for the next end of the year?
Okay. So, what I've got is we're talking about the Eight of Wands here. Try and bring it up so you can see it. This one is talking about, especially with like the rockets heading up and everything, taking initiative and striving for improvement. It's also talking about the utilization of the environment around you, harnessing the energy coming in, harnessing the energy that's available to adjust your course, like using your environment and your initiative to want to change things for the better, for the greater good, for yourself, for others. Use that to inform your direction going forward, making decisions, doing things, interacting, right? Number 2 is the Ace of Swords. This one's talking about opportunities, opportunities to learn new ways to utilize the true potential. So even though the sword looks busted, there's all of this actual potential around it. How can you utilize it? How can you utilize literally what you have at hand, even? But it's interesting, the card in of itself, when you go into, in this case, like the book explanation of it, right, is that it's also a warning to release the past and allow yourself to move forward and use new things. So if there are things that don't serve and that are out of date, it's, dovetails in with learning new ways to utilize the potential that you have, using that discernment, right? So that's that one. And last but not least, our gentleman here, the Hierophant. Look at how that blends into the water. Just like, is that
That's
the
cool.
card? Is that the water? What's going on there?
Right?
Okay, so cool. This guy is, in this case, in this deck, right, sharing the potential for the collective consciousness to be experiencing constricted feelings, feelings of being constricted, which of course, in the moment of this recording, like vax is a big, thing going around. Like everybody's starting to, feel like, do you not, da, 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 da. We won't get into that side of it, but it's like, for instance, there are ways in which it's showing on the outside, in the outside world, that can be used as a catalyst to awaken a greater understanding of yourself in the world. So it's literally, again, using your environment, using what's around you, using this stuff as a catalyst to inform new reactions. It's also the Hierophant, in this case, is having you almost ignore other people's advice, which is so funny because it's like, here we are giving you a tarot reading of what you might want to do and focus on and react to it, right? But it's like ignoring others' advice in the sense of when you check in with yourself and see if you even need to utilize it. Is it old information? Is it being informed out of fear? Does it really align with your truth? So in the sense of ignoring others' advice, it's really about, again, checking in and using that discernment and using that to challenge the old paradigm and blaze your own trail and like establishing new practices and traditions and things like that, creating something new.
Mm-hmm.
So using your environment, using that as a catalyst and going, okay, where can we be doing something different? Where can we doing something better? And the whole idea of it's like all this red and yellow energy and all this stuff is like the creative action center anyway. So it's like all about taking initiative and taking action about it
Mm-hmm.
in a sense in your
Yeah.
own lives. Right. So it's funny, which is really interesting because this was in a sense part of last week's topic of discussion too,
Right.
in a way.
Yeah.
So that's what the Starman is sharing with us for the rest of the year to think about and focus on.
I like it.
What you got, babe?
Well, definitely what came up through all of my cards was definitely growth
Mm-hmm.
and the changes and taking actions on the changes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So kind of what you tied in of the last card of awakening the self. This one, it's the warrior card.
Oh, nice.
Makes sense, right? Because you have
Yep.
the arrows, right? So you,
Yep. And like a
um,
shield in a sense. Yeah.
right. So what? Yep. So what I got from this before I read the little books was just kind of get to the point of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have those arrows. You have all these other arrows too, right? So you just don't
Mm-hmm.
have one, you have multiple ones. So it's kind of like, where are you going to aim that arrow and where are you going to make that shot?
Right.
Because you can have one more than one shot,
Right. Yep. Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. That's safe.
More
You
than
can
one choice to be made. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um where are we, prepping ourselves before we go to war, right? Make sure I got my arrows with me, I got my bow, I got my shield, right? So it's kind of like, where are we protecting ourselves? What is the process that we are going, process of finding that inner answer of that transformation, of we
Mm-hmm.
prepping ourselves to war? And it's not like we're going to war. I'm not saying that it's just a frame of,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's not
It's
really
getting
war.
into the action frame of mind,
Yes,
getting
thank you. So I'm
into a
like, wait, I wanted to
preparatory
make
and
that clear.
planning and thinking things through
Yeah,
and like where, like you said, where are you going to aim your shot? Like you have to think that out in the moment. Like how are you going to react? What are you going to
yeah,
do?
right. Where I know for me, this past month has been, it's just been one thing after another, after another, after another. And it's not like it is daunting, but it's like, okay, I'm clearing this up. And then it's
Mhm.
giving
Mhm.
me a chance to clear and move into the action, which goes into the salamander,
What's he got to say?
also known as a little water dragon, right? And he can eat up
Fire
the
dragon.
fire. He can, he is all about renewal and growth, right? So you think about a
Yes.
salamander, if you trap him or mangle him or take his tail or his little limbs, he can regrow them, and he has trust. And he has trust that his body will regrow. And if he's got to get out of a sticky situation, he knows
What to
what
let go of to move
he knows what
forward?
to let go of, because he knows that it's going to come back. It's going to
Yeah.
regrow,
Gonna be
rechange.
able to regenerate. Yep.
So whatever fire you find yourself in, how can you let go of that fire? How can you
And
eat
use it
that
to
fire
regenerate.
or let it go, or you have to transform yourself to trust in the process of that?
Yep.
That
Nice.
you might lose a limb
But you might have need that limb might have been gangrenous anyway,
and you can regrow it in a different way or repurpose it. So
and make it healthy. And da, da, da.
then
Yep.
that goes into our honeybee. Come on
Great
now.
metaphor. Yeah, I was
I
gonna say
hate
you gotta put it closer to you, babe. There you
that.
go.
Hi, honeybee.
There you go.
So what are our little honeybees? I always take a gander what the card tells and what I reflect on. So honeybees are gatherers, right? They gather the honey, they work in a
Gatherers
hive
and
together.
creators.
They're, they work together. So how can you work together? How can you be communicative with your community and with yourself or with your family? What is my role? Kind of asking yourself as you go through the process, what is my role in this? How can I be part of the community, or how can I pull myself out of the community? Um, I feel like the spiral is always kind of like the death and rebirth and death and
Mm-hmm.
rebirth, the growth. That's what I got from it when I was kind of reading into her, of gathering. And we're coming up to fall, so we're harvesting soon, and trees are going to be dying, and like, how are we processing the growth that we are experiencing into coming into the fall and winter and the rest of the year, right? Of
Yep.
how what is our role?
Yep.
And all the
How
layers
are we going to
around
utilize it to continue to make something out of it? Because they're producers and they're generators and they're,
right.
like,
So
they're always making something.
yep, how are we taking action and moving forward? So
Yep.
that was the cards in a nutshell that came through from my side, which kind of lined up with yours in a sense. And
it's its own translation for sure, of course.
yeah, so
They're very similar.
right, and the colors, right? The colors are all of the chakras of the roots and sacrals, and solar plexus of that change and creativity, and
Yep, all of the activity, creativity, energy centers.
right.
Yep, of the physical world specifically,
Right.
like taking action in the physical world, not just leaving it as a mind thought and not taking action on it. So it's like, got to take action on it to see it created again, see it recreated.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing. Even I know and I know that we feel like, okay, now we're taking action. We are making this change and this movement, and we're doing it, and not just talking or not being in our mind about it, where it's it's out, we're doing it. So that's all you just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it already. But yeah, nice. Excellent. Well, there you go, guys.
There's your forecast.
We're gonna read into the rest of the year here at the end of August. And we've got new things coming to you. And speaking of letting go of old things and incorporating new things and changing and moving with the tide, we've got some new things coming your way beginning of September next week. So come and join us and be on the lookout for that as we change and evolve.
Yes. Absolutely.
And do our thing. So come join us, do our thing. To serve you doing your thing.
And we just do the things.
And we'll just be together doing the things. Exactly. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Galactic Explorers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you like this. If you're interested in all the wonderful things. You know the jam. You know what to do. Do the stuff. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.